What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me for today's episode. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit here, and I hope you guys enjoyed that opening mix that I did with the Blu Guitar Amp One Iridium. By the way, that was a one-take mix, so yep, there were a couple little mistakes in there, but that's how I do it now. I'm trying to keep it real here and not do 8 billion takes in my mixes. Just want to do a one-take mix and get it done. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys how I achieved this amazing sound with this product. Now, I got to give a lot of credit to Thomas Blug, who designed it. He did a great job on this product, but I've owned it for a while, and it's always sounded good to me, but there was always something just slightly missing with it. Not a deal breaker, but I just was like, man, I just wish it was a little fuller, you know? Always had some decent low end and stuff like that, but I just wanted a little more fullness out of it. And I've boosted it with several different pedals, but I'm going to show you right now. Well, you know what? Let me turn off these stupid pictures here, and I'll turn everything back on now without the pictures. So when I turn the camera on it, you won't see the pictures in the way. So this is how I have it set up right now. And yeah, it just sounds amazing. Now I have it in modern mode, and modern mode just sounds so much more aggressive. I mean, he did a great job voicing that mode. And so what I'm going to do is play it without an overdrive, show you what it sounds like, and then I'm going to engage a couple boost pedals and show you how each of them work with this. And I'm going to land on my favorite boost pedal, at least for this unit here, and explain why. So here we go. Sounds really good, right? I mean, it's really tight and percussive, but I just want a little more saturation. So let's mess around with the gain setting and see if we can get that now. And again, the overdrive is still off. Yep, with the gain cranked, I definitely got a little more saturation. So what I'm doing is I'm setting it up to sound as good as I can without the boost. So let's engage the boost that's built into the Iridium now. That actually sounds awesome. It's a great recording tone, and it's not overly saturated or overly gained up or overly aggressive, but I feel like it needs to be a little fuller still, and I just like how it feels when I have it set up the way that I did in that mix I started the video out with. So let's go ahead and turn the boost off that's built in there. And let's back the gain down just a hair, because if I'm boosting it, I might as well bring the gain down a little bit. And let's start with the Mud Killer and see how we can get it to sound with that. All right, sounds good. It's a little more percussive, a little more aggressive, but it sounds a little hollowed out. You know, I'm cutting probably too much low end out of it. And you got to keep in mind, when you're boosting something that's as sculpted as the Amp One Iridium, or even other amps like the Badlander, you got to be careful which boost pedal you use, because boost pedals do cut low end. So if you already have an amplifier that's pretty tight, but you still want a little bit more, you want to pick a boost pedal that's going to allow a little bit more low end. And I have the fat skinny knob all the way down to fat on the Mud Killer, so I can't allow any more low end with the Mud Killer right now. So let me switch from the Mud Killer to the Precision Drive. Let's see what's going on there. So I'm on the Mud Killer now, right now, so I'm going to switch to the Precision Drive and see how it affects it. All right, that one got even thinner. I'm 2 notches up, so let's bring it a notch down. Let me do that while I'm playing, though. Yeah. Bringing it a notch down definitely helped out. And I have the bright at like 11 o'clock. It's still got a little bit of this spiky top end to it, and it's still a bit hollow for my taste. But let's switch from that to the Mesa Grid Slammer and see what we have. Definitely fuller, but it still has a little extra top end on it. And the way I have the Grid Slammer set up right now is level all the way up, gain all the way down. And then with this particular pedal, if you crank the tone knob, it actually makes the amplifier more aggressive and fuller sounding, believe it or not. It actually pushes the front end more. It's almost like an active tone stack in this pedal. I didn't build it. I don't know what's under the hood, but that's what I think based on when I turn the knobs, what I experience. So, but now let's switch from that to the odd box in UK mode and see how that affects the Amp One Iridium. Now we're talking. Holy shit, that sounds perfect. And how I have that set up is level all the way up, drive all the way down, tone dead nut center right at 12 o'clock. And I have it in UK mode, and it just sounds fuller, bigger, and there's no raspy top end or too much top end going on here. I mean, it just sounds absolutely perfect. And I know you can hear the difference. I mean, it's so full sounding. It sounds like a full-blown amp, like one of these, you know. So I really do like how this pedal interacts with the Amp One Iridium. So let me turn it off, you know, and turn it back on while I'm playing, so just so you can hear the difference. So much fullness, and there's just a lot more authority, and I just like how it fills up a little bit, and there's a little bit of connective tissue in between the notes now, but I like that. I don't like too much separation, because that's what, to me, makes the amp sound kind of hollow and, well, kind of like it's starving for air. And I just really prefer it with the odd box, especially for solos. You want that really nice fullness, and you want to feel confident when you're playing. It gives you that little bit of a backup, you know, and it just feels a lot better when you're playing. So, man, I'm telling you guys, the Odd Box by Warm Audio is a pedal everybody should have on their pedal board. I mean, it really does sound amazing. So what I'm going to do now is switch from UK mode on the Odd Box to US mode to show you how versatile this pedal is. So if you want a little less, go to US mode, and it'll just give you a little more space in between notes and not push the front of the amp so hard. And I think it might cut a little bit more low end or something. I don't know. I don't pretend to know how these pedals work. All I can tell you is what I'm experiencing with my hands and my ears here. So we'll start on UK mode and switch to US mode. Still sounds really freaking good. So now I'm going to start with US mode and switch to UK mode. I could go either way. Now, I prefer the UK mode, especially for solos, but I mean, if I was recording and stacking tracks on top of each other, I would probably go with the US mode. It leaves a little more space in between the notes, and it's not as full, but it still sounds really full and big and tight and aggressive. So I really think this pedal is a great option for you, and it definitely enhanced the sound and feel of the Amp One Iridium big time, and I'm so glad I got this pedal now. I've found a lot of great uses for it. So let's switch cameras here and go over the settings again. I'll turn the knobs a little bit so you can see what I did, and I'm going to leave the pedal on while I do this. So yeah, just some slight turning of the knobs and you can get a really freaking menacing tone out of this thing. And as you can see, I have the gain at 7, and let's see here, bass is only at what, 2? This thing's got plenty of low end, so I only have the bass at 2. That says a lot. And we're at 6 on the mids, so I don't scoop the mids. Some people, oh, you scoop the mids. No, I don't. There's plenty of mids in here. And the treble, the sweet spot for the treble is like just over 3. It seems like if you go over 3, it gets a little raspy, a little too bright there. And of course, there's some settings on the side too, but you know, I don't have 8,000 cameras, so I have appropriate settings obviously on the side as well as far as the presence goes. It's like a tone knob. You can dial in some presence with that. But I think this sounds really freaking good. Like, I would totally take this on stage with me, no problem. It's a really unique sound. I mean, it doesn't sound like any one of the amps that I have on my shelves here. I think it's, man, I'm trying to think, like, if I was to compare it to anything, I think it probably comes closest to like an EVH Stealth or something like that as far as the aggression goes, and that really nice aggressive top end. But you know, the Stealth has its own sound of course as well, but I mean, if I had to pick an amp that it emulates on my shelves, at least the closest, it would probably be maybe something along those lines. I haven't shot them out, but I feel like that would be it. So now let me switch between modern and classic mode on it so you can hear the difference between those. Yeah, freaking gnarly as hell. So if you want a little softer top end, go to the classic mode. But if you want that kind of grainy, extra aggressive, texturized top end, then you want to go to the modern mode. And it's a little stiffer and more responsive with and without the overdrive pedal. And I just, man, I think the feel is better as well. So it really comes down to what you prefer, but I prefer the modern mode on this big time. And man, this thing is really surprising me, especially when I pair it with the odd box. I'm so glad I got this pedal. Seriously, I can't recommend this pedal enough. I mean, it's really helped some of my amps, like the Badlander too. That's a more sculpted amp. And Oddbox really helped that amplifier out a lot, made me like the amp a lot more. So if you're struggling with getting that little bit more out of the Amp One Iridium like I was, try the Oddbox pedal. I really think it would help you out. So let's do one more mix before I end the video. Wow, man, I can't believe how much better the Amp One Iridium sounds and feels with the odd box in UK mode. It just, I think it's phenomenal. It's amazing how a properly selected and dialed in overdrive pedal can make such a huge difference with your amplifier. So like I said earlier, if you have the Amp One Iridium and you're looking for that little bit more that it could be missing for your taste and your style of playing, get the Oddbox by Warm Audio. It really is a great pedal. Now that advice goes for any amplifier. I mean, there's a lot of different amplifiers out there that are pretty sculpted, like I said earlier as well, and this pedal would really make a difference on those also. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I mean, it really was a lot of fun playing through the Amp One Iridium again. It's been a while since I've really dug into it and played some of my songs with it. And for the first time, I really feel like I've achieved a tone that I could absolutely live with no compromise at all. I mean, it sounds great when I play rhythms on it, and it feels great when I play rhythms and leads as well. I feel confident when I'm playing through it. I don't feel like I'm playing something that's just barely doing it for me, and the Oddbox really made a huge difference for me. So if you dug the video, please give it a like. I would really appreciate that. That really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And feel free to leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this product and how it sounded to you. And by the way, if you play Quad Cortex, KEMPER, or ToneX, and you want to get some awesome metal tones for yourself, click the link below. That'll take you right to my website, tonewars.com, and get some awesome presets and profile packs for yourself. Especially if you love the really heavy metal tones and some glorious cleans. That's what I have on my website. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from my presets and profiles, and people are really enjoying them. So I really appreciate people who've come to the website and purchased those. Thank you guys so much. And there will be much more to come with those as well. Another way to support me is just join my Patreon. The link is below for that as well. $5, $10 a month, whatever you want to contribute. It goes a long way here, and it helps me keep the lights on, literally, and encourages me to do more videos for you guys. Well, thanks to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers. I really appreciate you guys very much. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with new episodes. Well, I got a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.